What is going on, guys, and welcome to my first video on YouTube in terms of doing a Football Manager, my first video on the channel as well. Looking forward to doing this with you and making stories and enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying the first 10 games and having an audience to share that too as well. It's really exciting me. So this video is going to be more of like an introduction video of where we've taken AFC Wimbledon. As you can see, after 10 games we are second and we are on 22 points with 7 wins from 10 games, 1 draw and 2 losses. So yeah, we're really looking good, looking strong in the league. And if you look at the last year's finish, it was 20th. So look at the league table, that is actually just staying up. So we are doing fantastically well, probably overachieving at the moment. But we've brought in some good loan signings, which I'll go through shortly. And we've really been looking good in our new tactic, which I'll again also share with you. So just to give you a bit of a background before I start, AFC Wimbledon were originally called, I think it was just Wimbledon, and they'd had a fantastic history hitting cup finals of players such as Vinnie Jones in their team. Unfortunately, I think they did get in some financial trouble, and over time that kind of distracted them as such, and they went out of the Football League, and a new club was replaced with them, which was MK Dons, which is now why the rivalry between them is so high. I think a lot of their players went across, but a lot of their fan base didn't want to go and support a new team, so they created AFC Wimbledon, who have, as you can see here, started in the English Combined Countries League, where they finished third in their first year in 2002. Have worked their way all the way up to top, but they are now in League One. Had a bit of a downward spiral over the last 3 seasons, and this is where we're going to try and switch their form up, and we're going to try and get them to the Champions League, or Premier League first, with hopefully a cup winners medal in one of the cups, whether that be the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, and then win the Champions League or the Europa League, and then confirming that achievement over time is what I'd like to see. The club vision for me for my first season was essentially just to avoid relegation is the main thing, which we're going to do easily. We've already reached the second round of the Carabao Cup as well. We've actually gone out, but I'll go through that in a second. In terms of who we've brought in, before I go through my tactics so you can actually see the players, first of all, we've let go Mitch Pinnock to Rotherham for 150,000. We didn't actually have any money when I joined and no budget, so I just wanted to bring some money in, and he wasn't sort of a player that was going to be a starting player, because I don't really tend to play with wingers at all. So he's a good player, but he just doesn't really fit the formation, so we let him go. Then got Archie Proctor, eventually maybe a starting centre back for me, but he's a long way off our first team. So let him go out on loan to Boston, and I want to get some more loans out as well for some of the young players. We then come into the ins, and Nesta, Luke O'Neill, Callum Riley, Sorensen and Day were all players that had already come in before I started the save. Joe Day is someone that I don't really care about, so I'm trying to terminate his loan, which I can't do yet, but I will do when I can do. Sorensen is a young centre-back from Brentford who has been out injured. Is someone that I would like to bring in at some point into our back three. We then got an experienced goalkeeper in Ben Elwick, which you probably know from the past. He was a but a young goalkeeper for Sunderland, really well respected at such a young age, and he was brought in by Tottenham as they saw his talent for 900k. Didn't really do too well with him, went out on a lot of loans before sort of finally finding his feet at Peterborough in 2014. He's played a lot of games for them and Bolton in League One and Championship, so he is an experienced goalkeeper, so I'm really happy to bring him in on a free. Then coming here to look at Will Smallbone on loan from Southampton. He's a cam, but he can also play the advanced playmaker role in our midfield as well. Has consistently rising stats, which is great at a young player. Really well respected in terms of his potential ability and his current ability. And if you look at his contract here, we only are paying £200 a month to Southampton when his wage is £1,000, so we are looking really good in that sense. You then come to our next signing, which is Neco Williams from Liverpool. He is on loan, obviously, and he has scored 1 goal, got 2 assists, and got a 7.4 rating. He hasn't started every game. Luke O'Neill is probably our starting right back at the moment, or right wing back, but Neco is definitely someone that can come in and fill the gaps when we need to rest him, and is probably actually someone that by the end of the season might be starting. So good little player here, and someone that I'd actually love to sign, but I don't think we'd be able to. If you look at the contract, we are only paying £75 a month, so a bit of a bargain there if you ask me. We've then got Nick Waller, who's on a free transfer. It was my development coach that brought him in, and he's it looks okay, but he's playing the winger position, which we don't actually play really wingers, so he's probably someone that we look to sell over time when he's building up his potential, and probably potentially send out on loan as well when he reaches sort of 17, 18. And finally, our striker poacher for the season, or advanced forward, is going to be Michael Favia. He's on loan from Watford Carnation. Current ability is only 2.5 stars, but I would say he plays better than that from what I've seen so far, and his potential ability is really strong. You've then got the stats here constantly rising, and you've got some good pace in sort of physical stats. It's good on the ball decision making, sort of as a striker, which is what you need. Good technique, and some good technicals here in terms of dribbling, finishing, and first touch. And he started the season really well for me, starting sort of playing 9 games, scoring 4 goals, getting 2 assists, and a 7.19 rating. So yeah, we've started the season really well, as you can see, and I'm sure you can see now why I wanted to bring you this, because it's been a really good start and something that I feel a real attachment to. And if I'm honest with you, I can't stop playing against Seagulls. I'm sure I'll see a lot of episodes over the next few weeks and days, and I plan this to be sort of a long save as well. So yeah, as you can see here, we are 10th, and we've had some good form. Would like a few more goals scored, but we are the top scorers in the league in terms of goal difference, and goals scored as well, which is great, isn't it? Yeah, great. But we are on 7, so I wouldn't mind to try and bring that down a little bit, but I'm hoping when Sorensen's back we will do so. So typically I would normally now show you the schedule, go through some of these. So we obviously had some good sort of friendlies here. We actually were unbeaten all the way through pre-season. You could probably say the FM Cup win against Watford is probably the best sort of performance, closely followed by the Charlton win as well. And then you come into some of the league games here, so if I go through some of them with you, just see who scored, etc. Could be a rundown on what happened. First game of the season, we played Rotherham. Joe Pigott scored the only goal in that game, 13 minutes into the season. Fleetwood, we won 3-0. They had a sending off with 10 minutes to go, but by then we were already on our way to winning, which is great, and we got an extra 2 goals after that sending off, which really pushed us on. Then played Stevenage. There's outside of the goal box Anthony Hartinger, giving us the 1-0 win. Then go into the Accrington game, and you see that we lost 2-1, unfortunately. Disappointed about this game, but especially with us being at home. But I think the killer blow before half time, and then the early goal in the second half really killed us off, and we couldn't get back into that after that. Then got the 1-0 win away at Ipswich, which is a fantastic result. Went 1-0 up, and they got a sending off, and we sort of held on and got the win there. Then we went away to Sunderland at the Stadium of Light and got a 1-0 draw. We were winning the whole way through the game to the final 9 minutes when Luke O'Neill had a long shot outside the box, which the keeper had no chance with. We then went to West Ham after our original 1-0 win against Stevenage in the Carabao Cup and draw 2-2. Well, similar now in the game, and we came back to 2-2 and went to penalties. Fortunately, a and Wordsworth missed, and they scored all 4 of their penalties, so we lost on on missed penalties there. We went to Wickham the next game, where I was a bit worried about because we'd obviously lost in the cup, but we went there and beat them 3-0. Fantastic response in the team. Made a few changes to freshen up the squad, and it paid off in the end with Max Saunders getting the first own goal from the goalkeeper, and Neco Williams getting his first goal on loan from Liverpool. We then went to Cheltenham a few days later, and we picked up a 3-0 win here. Joe Pigott, Luke O'Neill and Tommy Wood. Tommy Wood coming on loan. He's on loan. He's a youngster who I'd want to send out on loan. I had a few injuries, so I brought him into the squad and bring him on, see what he's like, and he actually did get a goal for me, which was great to see. Then went to MK Dons. Obviously the rivalry between us, as I explained earlier, is very, very feisty, and to get a 2-0 win there, especially with a sending off after 16 minutes, was really pleasing to see, and just shows that we are a better team than our rivals, which we always want that. And I think throughout the save, we will look back and try and see where MK Dons are, and if they can't us up, and if they're going to get in the same leagues as we are. But it'll be interesting to see who does the better, hoping me, obviously. Then got the 3-1 win here against Shrewsbury. Nesta getting a goal for me from left wing back. Again, Michael Favila scoring again, and Wordsworth scoring a goal from midfield. I was really happy with this result, because I should see Shrewsbury's team, if you ever looked at it before, really strong, loads of experience, and a lot of players that you probably do know. And then, especially with this response straight after, we've started firing goals now recently. A 5-2 win against Coventry away, which, if you ask me, is fantastic. Their team is strong, and I fully expect them to be up there towards the end of the season, and we'll be surprised if they're not. And then finally we have the Bristol Rovers game, where we did lose 1-0. Disappointed with this because I was sending off after 5 minutes, so I really felt that we were pushing on after that, but we couldn't do so, and unfortunately we did lose 1-0. So this next game, we are really going to hope to sort of push on and get a result in against Peterborough. What I probably will do now is I won't play any games today, because I've obviously spoken a lot about the introduction and the save and everything like that. What my plan is probably to do is play the Peterborough, Rochdale, play the under-23s game, Southend and Portsmouth, and then have 2 live games when we come back against Lincoln and Burton. Burton's going to be harder because they've got a lot of good players, probably underperforming, probably had a poor start. And then you've got the Lincoln, who are first, obviously, and someone that we want to overtake and becomes the top team of the division. So I think they're 2 cool games to come back to, and I'll play 5 in between that. So yeah, that's the end of the video today. If you did enjoy, please do subscribe and comment in the comments below if you are enjoying this so far and you're excited about this save as much as I am. I'm sorry I've played 10 games already. I tend to like to see if I like a save before I publish it, because I do a lot of starting saves, and if I can't get the attachment to the team, then I tend not to progress with it, whereas this one I've actually really enjoyed so far, and I've not had to do too much to the squad, which puts you in a strong position, and it helps you develop the players that you've got. So it's a nice save to actually be in, and I recommend anyone that is looking for a save to do one with AFC Wimbledon, especially with the history that they've got. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please do like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.